Welcome inside the 12 Sports Zone. I'm Katie Smith coming to you from Bridgeport High School. There is high school soccer regional championships going on right now, right behind me. The winners tonight move on to the state tournament. More on that later. Right now, let's get to the latest high school football ranking. So today I'm at the Fairmont Municipal Airport where the Leading Edge Flight School gives tours of the area from the air, and I'm going in the airplane. Sitting right here in front of me, so... Okay, and of course it's a coffee shop, so a little espresso. It's 2012 opening day for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and the Buccos are ready for a fresh start. Well, Albert, coming up later in local sports, we'll meet this week's MVP. She's doing something very few female athletes ever do. All 16 high school soccer teams that make the state tournament have been decided. Tonight, the final regional championship games played out across West Virginia. Welcome inside the 12 Sports Zone, everyone. I'm Katie Smith. We start with new developments and an ongoing high school sports story. Welcome inside the 12 Sports Zone. I'm Katie. Oh, sorry. I obviously don't normally do these things, so welcome to this week's stop on the restaurant road trip. I don't normally do restaurant road trips, so I'm taking you to a not so normal place. It's Almost Heaven Desserts right on Main Street in Bridgeport. Let's head inside to the coffee shop and check it out.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that live here and don't even know that we're here, so we get that a lot. But there's also people that come in that are regulars and that we know by their first name.
The coffee shop opened in 2003, but the bakery has been around since 1996. It's located on Wonder Bar Road, and the bakery is where all the magic happens. It's grown quite busy over the years.
For example, we would make probably 10 tiramisus a week, and that would get us through the whole week. We're up to 36 to 40, sometimes 50 tiramisu a week.
The baking starts at 6 a.m. and all three bakers have culinary backgrounds. The coffee shop is stocked by 9.
Well, the coffee shop is more of like you can come in and sit down and just like kind of relax and get coffee, but over there it's just normally just like the production of the desserts.
The Almost Heaven Desserts coffee shop says the Chambord cheesecake is the biggest seller. It's sitting right here in front of me, so... Okay, and of course it's a coffee shop, so a little espresso. No wonder that's the best seller.
When we make stuff, we always make what we're going to want in a store. So we just act like we're making it for ourselves. What would you want? And that's what we want our customers to want.
You'll find plenty of goodies at the coffee shop, along with cappuccinos, lattes, smoothies, and milkshakes, but it's hard to work at a dessert place.
Eating everything. Trying to stay away from eating it, and because it's so good that we still want it. After 15 years, I still love it.
So you're probably wondering, was Almost Heaven Desserts true to the name? It definitely was. You've got to check it out. For this week's restaurant road trip, reporting in Bridgeport, I'm Katie Smith. This is Leah Fletcher in 2008. After an all-state basketball career at South Harrison, including 3 trips to the state tournament, Fletcher took her talents to Davis and Elkins.
Just to have fun was my big thing, and to set a good example for players that were below me. Like, I'm not going to have an attitude. I'm always going to try to stay positive no matter what.
This is Leah Fletcher now. Just as her final season with the Lady Senators was beginning, Fletcher felt a pain in her knee that just wouldn't go away.
I think being an athlete, you tend to just work through pain, so that's kind of what it's nothing. I mean, obviously I didn't think, I have cancer.
The diagnosis after an X-ray, MRI, and 2 biopsies was fibrosarcoma, a cancerous tumor on Fletcher's femur near her knee. She had a total knee replacement, and doctors removed part of her femur. Fletcher is doing chemotherapy as a precaution. 4 down, 3 to go.
It's hard now because I'm, used to, okay, this is how it is now. But, then obviously you don't think that, I'm 21, 22, I'm going to have cancer. Obviously, I don't think anybody thinks that when they're that young, let alone when they're older even. But, it's a lot of mixed emotions.
Fletcher walks with crutches, but is working on not using them at all. It's still a ways off, but she's already thinking about what's next athletically.
I don't think anybody ever wants to give up sports that have been involved in it, but I'm planning to at least play some that, I guess golf would maybe be an option there, but basketball, I don't think any full-fledged, hardcore basketball, but I'm hoping that I can.
Fletcher needs to complete her last semester at D&E before moving on to the WVU Physical Therapy School, which allowed her to defer for a year.
It's funny how, when I go to physical therapy and you see a lot of knee replacements, and it's like, oh, I have one. So, I think that can help relate to patients that are, going through hard times or, even have cancer or something like that.
Fletcher says family, friends, and faith is what's helped her through. Reporting in Lost Creek, I'm Katie Smith for 12 Sports. Welcome to this summer's final Wild Wonderful Wednesday. I'm Katie Smith, coming to you from Cooper's Rock, just outside of Morgantown. We've been to Cooper's Rock before, but today we're going to do something a little different. We're going rock climbing. I'm joined by Andy Hershey. Andy is the owner of Cooper's Rock Climbing Guides, and he has graciously offered to help me learn how to rock climb. Obviously, the first thing is safety: helmet, harness, climbing shoes. But Andy, I know there's more to it.
What I'm worried about is people climbing on their own when they're not tied into one of our ropes. So I typically ask people not to climb during one of our programs unless they're tied into a rope. The other thing that I worry about is things falling from above, and that's the main reason that we're wearing this helmet.
Obviously.
So if you do happen to pull a loose rock off, you yell "rock" as loud as you possibly can, so that everybody on the ground knows that something is coming down.
Right.
Something that's really important in climbing that not everyone takes the time to work on is footwork. So if you learn on a slab on a lower angled climb to balance over your feet, when you get to the steeper climbs, you can apply what you've learned here.
First thing is shift my weight onto this leg.
Shift your weight over there and stand up. And
you use your hands for balance.
You can use your hands for balance. But yeah, I mean, you can possibly grab onto some of those holds up there. You're ready to climb. Very nice.
Oh.
There you go. Get your balance.
Okay.
And slab climbing is one of those things that comes really naturally to some people, and some people they just can't get it. You're doing great. Climbing's kind of like chess. You have to plan about 3 moves ahead to make it work well.
And you want to stand
it's totally
up here?
up to you. You can call it good there, or you can climb up till you touch the
I'm going to
camera.
the top.
All right. So that's the position you want to be in, with your legs slightly wider apart so you don't tip side to side. And then just walk down like that. The one problem with this climb is it does have that ledge at the top. It's a place for people who are really scared.
That was cool.
Nice job.
Thank you. All right, I'm dirty, I'm bloody, and I'm bruised, but I had a great time. Did a kind of easy climb, did a not so easy climb, and rappel, but it was all a ton of fun. But Andy, the big question here is, why is Cooper's Rock a good place to come rock climbing? Okay,
there are a couple reasons. One is bouldering. It's a very popular bouldering area, climbing without a rope. From my perspective, it's a great place to bring people just because there's a variety of climbing difficulties and styles, so we can really mix it up for people.
And for more information on Cooper's Rock Climbing Guides, just visit our website, WBOY.com. And for the last Wild and Wonderful Wednesday of the summer, I'm Katie Smith reporting at Cooper's Rock. Big high school football news today. The WVSSAC has voided all of Elkin's wins from this season. Executive Director Gary Ray says the SSAC received a written complaint from a parent in a neighboring county challenging a transfer student's eligibility. Ray says the Tigers did use an ineligible player. School officials say the student athlete had the necessary grades, credits, transfer and transition papers. The SSAC says Elkins did not establish the transfer player's residency.
They have another point of their athletic eligibility that has to be established, and that is residency. If they're not accompanied by a move by the parents, there has to be an appeal process. The school has to request that the SSAC look at it, and then they appeal it. Elkins High School did not do that and did not understand that they had to do that.
The student has been deemed ineligible for the entire year. Of course, this will have an effect on the high school rankings. We'll keep you up to date with that. After leading the Morgantown girls, more than 1,000 Fairmont State basketball fans came out to Joe Retton Arena tonight to support the Falcons. FSU held its first ever Fan Fest, featuring both the men's and women's basketball teams as a preview for the upcoming season. The men's scrimmaged for the packed house and had a slam dunk contest won by senior Andrew Gano. The women had a skills competition, and both teams welcomed fans onto the court for a 3-point shootout. There was also an autograph session with the players, and Fairmont State Student Government sponsored a zombie contest for the students. That was pretty cool. Yeah. FSU President Dr. Maria Rose says the first Fan Fest was a success.
Oh, I think it'll do the world of good for fan turnout. I think everybody in the community has been talking about basketball for months, so we want to sell this place out and get everybody here.
The first game for the Fairmont State men's team is November 10th, November 9th for the women. We're less than a month away from basketball.
That's hard to believe.
Turning to college soccer, for the first time in the history of the program, the AB women's soccer team has won the WVIAC regular season championship. The Lady Battlers still have 2 regular season games left to play, but they have secured the #1 seed in the tournament and a first-round bye. I had to sit down with head coach Patrick McGinnis here in the studio tonight, and he told me the season started off a little rocky, but he's proud of how his team pushed through the rough spots and came out on top. It took a little reworking, but it worked.
We actually sort of revised our goals mid-season. We got rid of the season-long expectations and literally took it down to a day-by-day. And so every training session we come into with set goals, we apply those to the game. We either, if we work on them and get them, we move forward. If not, we stay with them until we achieve those goals. And it's been very, very simple, yet been so beneficial at the same time.
You can find more on the Lady Battlers and this week's WVIC Player of the Week, Olivia Augustine, on our website. Just head to localsports at WBOY.com. And of course, my entire interview with Coach McGinnis is up there too. So on behalf of the student athlete in question, Taylor County residents have come together to form a committee that aims to improve McKinney Field at Grafton High School. Parents, volunteers, coaches, and Taylor County officials are working together to raise funds to turf McKinney Field. Residents say the field can't hold grass because of overusage and drainage problems. The Friends of McKinney Field committee approached the Taylor County School Board for help with funding.
They understand the situation. The superintendent, Bob Maynard, understands the situation, and we're just thankful that they're on board with us. I mean, we've got a great group on the Board of Education, and they contributed $350,000 to this project.
The project could cost almost $1 million. The Taylor County School Board is giving the committee 2 years to raise the funds. A 3-way tie for